Igniting Dreams 2026.
Welcome to Igniting Dreams 2026.
Reimagining possibilities.
Welcome to Igniting Dreams Summit 2026. As I started to prepare this speech, I thought I would begin with a confession. I grew up in Tumu, a small farming town where over 80% of families wake up every morning not knowing whether the rains will be enough to feed them throughout the year. I grew up watching young men, my peers, my brothers, turn to illegal mining out of desperation. I watched young women carry the weight of poverty on their backs, their potential buried beneath the burden of survival. As a basic school student, I started questioning these conditions. Why? Why here? Why us? The answer I came to learn was not accidental. It was architectural. It was deliberate, and it stretches far back than most of us dare to look. Long before the first colonial flag planted on Ghanaian soil, Northern Ghana served as a vital trade nexus, linking the South with the Sahel, other neighboring nations, and the great trading empires of West Africa. The North was not peripheral, as we know it today. It was central to regional trade. British administrators, through colonial capitalism, made fatal decisions that meant the North would not be developed. Scholars Plange and Brukum have documented how colonial policy deliberately framed Northern Ghana as a labor reservoir, a source of cheap human capital to fuel the cocoa plantations and gold mines of the South. Infrastructure, schools, hospitals, investment, these were concentrated in the South, where the colonial economy was centered. The North was administered as a single, homogeneous protectorate, erasing its rich ethnic diversity, its distinct economic assets, and its strategic potential, all reduced to one convenient label, the North. This I have come to refer to as a clinical misdiagnosis of the economic potential of Northern Ghana. And here is the cruel irony of the misdiagnosis. They dismissed northern crops like shea butter, cotton, and groundnuts as economically insignificant, while pouring resources into southern cocoa and palm oil. Yet by 1970s, shea butter had become a prized commodity in global cosmetics and pharmaceuticals worth billions. And just recently, gold deposits have been discovered in the Upper West region, something we were told was not present in the North. This is not a story of a region that failed. This is a story of a region that was failed. Today, Northern Ghana is home to a rapidly growing youth population who are energetic, creative, and resilient, but the numbers are sobering. Youth unemployment stands at 25.7% across all 5 regions in Northern Ghana. Over half of employed youth are trapped in low-income, unemployed livelihoods. Poverty rates across the North exceed 50%, more than double the national average of only 22%. Most youth-led businesses operate in the informal economy, excluded from finance, markets, and mentorship. And Ghana's SME financing gap currently stands at 4.8 billion, with young entrepreneurs in the North disproportionately shut out, lacking collateral, credit history, and access to investment-ready support. The consequences are visible and urgent. Young people are migrating south in search of opportunity. Many of them end up being exploited. Others are turning to illegal mining, social vices, to pathways that are becoming a growing security threat across the region. We are not just facing an economic crisis, we are facing a generational crisis. But here's also what I know. I know that Northern Ghana is not only waiting to be saved, it is waiting to lead. Despite every barrier, youth-led businesses are emerging across agriculture, agri-processing, technology, fashion, and light manufacturing. The region sits on extraordinary natural endowments including shea, cotton, granules, livestock, minerals, and now, as previously denied, gold and cocoa. It has a young population that is hungry for opportunity, and you'll experience that firsthand tomorrow from our 20 amazing fellows. And it has such something that no investor can overlook today. It is one of the last great untapped markets on the African continent. This is why we are here. This is why in 2019, we founded the Coalition for Positive Impact with Igniting Dreams as our maiden program, because we believed that if you give young entrepreneurs in Northern Ghana the right tools, the right networks, the right mentorship, and the right capital, they will not just survive, they will transform this region. Since 2019, we have reached over 10,000 young people, funded 50 entrepreneurs, created over 400 jobs, and operated across all 5 regions of Northern Ghana. These are not just numbers. They are lives redirected, families lifted, communities changed. And this year, we are pleased to welcome the MasterCard Foundation as our partner to scale and expand this impact further. And we are only just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to speak plainly about something that keeps me awake at night. The International Labour Organization projects that over the next 25 years, Sub-Saharan Africa will need to create more than 800 million jobs to absorb its growing youth population. Ghana alone will need to generate millions of new jobs, and a significant proportion of those jobs must be created in the north, where the youth population is growing fastest and formal employment is most scarce. Automation, artificial intelligence, and restructuring of global supply chains are already disrupting traditional employment pathways. The jobs that previous generations relied upon are disappearing, and the young people of Northern Ghana, already operating on the margins, will feel this disruption even more. The only credible answer to this is entrepreneurship. Not entrepreneurship as a last resort, but entrepreneurship as a deliberate, supported, and well-resourced pathway to economic dignity and digital and regional transformation. The young entrepreneurs in this room, the 20 Igniting Dreams Fellows who will pitch tomorrow, they are not just building businesses. They are building the employment infrastructure of Northern Ghana's future. They are the job creators that this region needs. But they cannot do it alone. And that is why I'm speaking directly to investors and all stakeholders in this room. For too long, capital has followed the path of least resistance, flowing to established markets, familiar geographies, and proven ecosystems. Accra gets the fintech, Lagos gets the venture capital, Nairobi gets the impact investment, and places like Tumu, Ua, Waliwali, and Tamale, at best, a footnote in a development report. I want to challenge that logic today. Inclusive capital allocation is not charity. It is one of the smartest investments you can make. When you invest in underserved markets like Northern Ghana, you are not entering a vacuum. You are entering a market with low competition, high demand, abundant natural resources, and a young, motivated workforce. When you invest here, you reduce rural-urban migration, easing the pressure on overcrowded southern cities and building more resilient, distributed economies. You create jobs where they are needed most, not where they are easiest to create. You build supply chains that are more geographically diverse and therefore more resilient to shocks. And you generate returns, financial returns, social returns, and the kind of reputational returns that define the investors who shaped the future rather than followed it. But I want to go further than a general call for investment. I want to make a specific ask. The young entrepreneurs building businesses in underserved markets like Northern Ghana face a unique set of challenges that standard funding models were not designed to address. They lack collateral, but they do not lack ideas. They lack credit history, but they do not lack determination. They operate in thin markets with high transaction costs, but they are creating value that conventional metrics fail to measure. We need new funding models, patient capital, blended finance, revenue-based financing, community investment vehicles, milestone-based grants that transition into equity or repayable loans, models that meet young entrepreneurs where they are, not where the spreadsheet expects them to be. I am calling on every investor, every foundation, every development finance institution to commit to designing at least one funding instrument specifically tailored to young entrepreneurs in underserved markets, not a modified version of what you offer to global tech hubs. Because when you unlock the potential of one young entrepreneur in Tumu, Owa, or Tamale, you do not just change one life, you change a family, you change a community, and you change the economic trajectory of a region. And in an uncertain world, that kind of distributed, resilient, locally rooted job creation is not just good ethics, it is good economics. I came from Tumu with one question. Why here? Why us? I have spent the last 7 years building that answer. The answer is that Northern Ghana's story of marginalization is real, but it is not the final chapter. The answer is that young people of this region are solutions waiting to be resourced. The answer is that the investors, policymakers, and ecosystem builders have the power right now and today to bend the arc of this region's history toward justice, toward prosperity and possibility. We are not asking for pity. We are not asking for charity. We are asking for partnership and investment. We are seeking and asking you to look at Northern Ghana not through the lens of what it has lacked, but through the lens of what it is becoming. A frontier of innovation, a hub of entrepreneurial energy, a market whose time has come. The Igniting Dream Summit 2026, Reimagining Possibilities, isn't just an event. It is a declaration that the young people of Northern Ghana are ready to innovate, to build, and to lead. Let this declaration echo throughout the summit and forever. Now, let us build the fire together. In conclusion, I would like to thank all our esteemed guests, speakers, and facilitators who have joined us today for this summit. Our partners, the MasterCard Foundation, Sangudele Foundation, Noni Hub, Anwele Foundation, M-Notify, and Fido. Because of your support, these young ones can dare to dream. And to the fantastic CPI team and our volunteers, you are the real MVPs, and you are fueling and driving this vision. Thank you, and thank you to everyone for Igniting Dreams 2026.